Even gezien?
Asira varanahede.
Me voltocht en geheerdveen. Me vertruv het een bellengrek.
Visse dein ib kieseret. Net en verbtene. Het en krisa. Do you know what this is?
I know.
Who it is?
Triss Marigold. Until recently advisor to King Foltest. Artifact compression. Complicated spell.
Is she alive?
Her life processes are on hold. But it is reversible. Though very difficult.
You created a portal between Loch Muine and Nilfgaard. You should manage the figurine.
Stand back. I cannot be sure how her body will react to decompression.
No pentagrams, candles, spilt blood.
It figures you know little about magic, Ambassador. It matters not.
We need her alive, Asira. Make sure her body survives decompression well.
I'll do what I can. But she will be disoriented for some time. What is your name? Oh! Tell me your name. Triss!
Vise getocht gedein. Vise espet eb wovret. Dartocht eb nedling derien. Mehen eveneens eb turin. Me puft en alverdeg. Marigold. Your name is Triss Marigold.
I recognize this valley.
Alright, this is the third chapter of The Witcher 2. This is Iorveth's version of that chapter. Or this chapter, whatever. So, if you saw the videos for Roach's path, you take a very different way into the city when Iorveth is your ally, as he is a known terrorist in the eyes of the public in this game. He's not exactly welcome in the city. So, yeah, you have to take a back way in, which involves fighting some more like Ericus's and Dregas. Actually, no, the Ericus, I believe, is an optional fight. I will be fighting him anyways because there's a really powerful silver sword kind of just beyond it. And plenty of harpies to kill. Iorveth is explaining the history of Loch Muine from the perspective of an elf, and has some neat things to say about it. Explains how the elves all kind of die off in this area. And there's a couple neat things that you can get in this on this entranceway into the city. I'm actually not sure if you can get it's a specific. It's one of those like situational upgrades, like the things you find in the environment that give you an effect, like a permanent upgrade to your character. I'm not sure if you can get it on Roach's Path. That is unconfirmed by me, at least. It would be quite easy to confirm. All I'd have to do is load up a save on Roach's Path, pretty much, and just go and see if I can do it. But either way, we are going to fight 2 Ericuses soon. Erikai, kind of giant spider insectoid looking monsters. And there's 2 of them, and you're in a very narrow passage, and they take up the entire width of the passage pretty much. Also, when I say there's 2 of them, I mean there's one in front of you and one behind you. So, yeah, for that fight, first thing to do, make sure there isn't one behind you, which involves just kind of running and trying to roll past the one in front of you. Iorveth will not help out in this fight, because he runs through a cavern, which is where you're supposed to be going to enter the city on this path, but you will not come out to help fight off the beasts. You must just fight them yourself. They're not really hard, it's just the fact of the positioning of the monsters and the unadvantageous terrain that you're in, being a very narrow corridor, more or less. It causes some problems during that fight, but it's not particularly difficult, especially if you can hit the Ericus in the back with a heavy attack, so you go right down. And the silver sword you get is well worth it. It's very powerful. Chapter 3 it gets replaced very quickly, but it is still very useful to have just for that first little bit.
If the rulers have holed themselves up in camps, it should be easy to move about between them.
Let's go before we get noticed.
So Iorveth runs off to the right there. Geralt's medallion goes off, and here it is. Yeah, you kind of just have to do that to get through them, or else you would get caught in between them, and then you just wouldn't really be able to do anything. Of course, in here, obviously the same problem kind of occurs. You can get caught in between them. I'm not sure if the adrenaline finisher will work on them. That is one thing I definitely didn't bother to try. And yeah, you just kind of want to slowly... Oh, I did manage to like get Iorveth to come fight. Okay, I was misinformed when I started this video by my memory, or I guess lack thereof, for this fight. I recorded this stuff a while ago, and the freezing effect of my silver sword really came in handy with that Ericus. Now there should be a dead body with a very nice silver sword on it. Yeah. I believe its effect is 25% extra damage to gargoyles. Now that will be really helpful because we're going to be dealing with some gargoyles in the near future. In fact, you have to fight a bunch before you even get into the proper city. So, well, you're in the city at that point, but before you get to like the town square. Now, some things about Iorveth's path, if you don't know already. Oh, by the way, there's another Ericus. If If you don't know, because you're kind of branded as a companion of Iorveth, you are also... if you come near any particular authorities, they will just try to kill you on sight. So a lot of town guards, you need to avoid kind of line of sight. I mean, you don't need to go so far as like look for vision cones. I mean, there aren't any in this game, but you're safe in the town market, like the main square. But if you try to go into any of the military camps, you will be... they'll try to kill you on sight, and none of the guards care. In fact, that's actually part of a quest. You have to go find Philippa, and you find out she's imprisoned. And one of the ways to get into the prison is actually get killed by the guards. Like, I think your health has to hit 0 at that point. Or it's like your health gets down halfway and then they say they'll arrest you. I don't do that. I go through the sewers and take the long way, but... So yeah, we're almost in the city. I'm still compulsively looting everything. Actually, at this point, it's still kind of helpful. Just because there are some very powerful weapons and armor that you can make in this chapter. So I highly recommend doing the side quests in this part of the game. Just because just the stats of the armor and the weapons, and even the way they look really nice. It's just... they're so much better than what you have, and considering the amount of damage that like the final bosses can output, or should theoretically be outputting, you need to have some good armor.
That's why we went around.
Like in this difficulty,
As the years went by, and the climate turned cold,
I want to say Geralt dies in like a couple of hits, even with all this armor and everything. Just like these harpies, if I'm not careful, they can really wreck my day. But that's what the Quen spell's for. So here's the thing that I wasn't sure if you can get on Roach's Path or not. It's an upgrade to the Ard sign that has a chance to cause a freezing effect. Which is really cool, because if an enemy freezes solid, you can shatter it with a single hit.
Sewers that rivaled today's, but it grew colder, and the canals remained.
So instead of following Iorveth, come up here and just kind of click your mouse where it says use. Yeah, if you look at the book, it explains like why you get the freezing effect. Yeah, so that's one of those permanent character upgrades. You get a bunch of them just by going through the game. Yeah, Winter Shroud. Yeah, 20%. It appears to be 20% on the preview screen chance of freezing an enemy with the Ard sign, which may come in handy with an optional fight later, which
when the elves arrived, they
won't be shown in these videos.
dead city falling into ruin.
At least as of yet, for sure.
Rebuilt it, restored its former beauty. Humans did not.
So we've almost successfully gotten into the city at this point. Now we just have to fight a few gargoyles. These gargoyles, this area will be used for a quest called the Gargoyle Contract. And you will have to refight these gargoyles when you do it. At least I believe you do. Yeah, they're not particularly well. Okay, they are quite strong. They can kill you quite easily, especially with this level of armor, which is why I'm so adamant about having the Quen sign up. And they also explode on death, which is real neat because they are rock monsters.
Damn, you're ugly.
So, now you have... Once this gargoyle is dead, you've pretty much broken into the city at this point. So, I will see you all on another video.
They gagged Philippa in the nick of time. She almost cast a spell. Rotting in the Redanian dungeon now in special shackles.
Radovid's right to show the witches their place.
I wonder what they'll do to her. Either the executioner or the monsters will have their fun. They say Muine's dungeons are full of scum of all kinds.
No idea what they locked her up for, but every sorceress is guilty of something.
True enough. Not likely to see anyone weeping for her.
A dungeon befits Philippa Eilhart very well, though gallows would be even better.
If they killed her, you can forget about healing Saskia.
They must guard her as heavily as the Emperor's bedchamber. We'll not get in there.
I'm in no hurry to visit the Emperor's bedchamber, but we've got to get into the dungeon.
Look for a passage through the sewers. I'll locate Eilhart's quarters. If she didn't expect to be arrested, I may find something interesting there.
The tunnels beneath the city sound reasonable.
They used to lead almost everywhere, though some passages may have collapsed during the fires.
It's still worth a shot.
Let's go then.
I'll find Philippa. You search her quarters.
Right. We learned a lot the last time we browsed through her things. Va fail, Gwynblade.